Getting into a relationship with someone is like running a marathon. You must take things slow and not suddenly run at full speed to make sure that you get all the crucial details. It's not a race that you have to win. If you have been using a dating app to find the one, then there are some things that you really have to consider before taking the talking stage to the next level. Learn to consider the chances of the Filipina that you're talking with about having a child. Because honestly guys, she may or may not add it to her Tinder profile, but it's best to ask it early on so you will not be bombarded with surprises the moment that you meet her. You can see 14 million people in the Philippines are known to be single parents, and 95% of them are usually women. Now, you get the picture that the Filipino you're talking to might have a child or children. So, are you ready for it? Well, first and foremost, there's nothing wrong with dating a Filipino with a child or children, but do expect that there will be challenges and adjustments that come along with it, and you really have to be ready for that. Unfortunately, there are cases in the Philippines wherein Filipino women do not fully admit that they have a child. So in the end, you would either end up with a broken heart or might suddenly commit just because you don't want to lose your person. So before doing this, you must consider the following questions and situations. This isn't meant to stop you from dating a single mother, but rather to give you a heads up on what's waiting for you at the end of the marathon. The first question is that, are you ready to take the responsibility for another man's child? So here in the Philippines, child support is almost non-existent. So, how could the baby daddy pay for it if he doesn't have a decent job? So if you choose to date a single mother, you have to be prepared that you might need to take on the father's shoes and be financially ready to provide for them. And this isn't always the case, since some mothers actually work 2 jobs at a time just to provide for their children. However, if you really want her full attention on you or the family that you're about to build, then you might just commit to the role. And there are also some instances wherein the stepfather lashes out at his non-biological children. If you know that you have these tendencies, steering clear of single moms is your best option. Not only are you ruining your image, but you are also traumatizing innocent children as well. The next one is that prepare your wallet. Okay, so as what I have mentioned earlier, you might take the role a little too seriously because of the biological father's absence. Being financially capable is a significant plus to single moms, but this doesn't mean that they would only see you for your money. Some Filipinas would initiate that they could help you with the finances by taking part-time jobs or even opening businesses. But you know what guys, that's depending on the type of the woman that you date and the life that you want to build with her. So yeah, basically this case could shift based on your preferences. The next one is that look out for drama. Okay, so you know what? The most important part of dating a woman with a child or children is getting to know her past really well. Okay? You know what happened to her, to the baby daddy, why it did not work out, and if he is still present in the children's lives or to her life. You know, because if the biological father is the hit and run or impregnate and run type man, then there might be some drama here in the future, especially if he suddenly walks back into your girlfriend's life after 5 or 10 years. Talking about telenovelas, right? But yeah, some Filipino men really have the guts to do this, and it's not just here in the Philippines, to be honest with you. While there are also cases wherein the father died or they have successfully called it quits and decided just to schedule visitation days, these things are not usually taken to court given the financial capability of most Filipino couples. Others are also sensible enough to discuss these things too, so it won't be as dramatic as you expect it to be. Next one is that prepare for differences in parenting styles. Okay, so you and a Filipino mother may eye for each other's throats when it comes to parenting. And there's a huge difference between your way of raising a child and your girlfriend's way of raising a child. Although you are not really the biological father, but committing to the role also means you are up for this debate. So, choose your words and words wisely if you don't want your relationship or even your marriage to fall apart. The next one is that the family first. Okay, now, you may think that you are the family here, but no. I will be blunt here, guys, and don't come at me for not having any filter, okay? But you are not the priority here, to be honest with you, especially if you're dating a single mother. Because her children comes first, then her family, her mother, father, siblings, and then you. And yeah, unfortunately, you have just been demoted to the third rank. So if you are prepared for this, then you might be really ready to tie yourself with your girlfriend. And the next one is that children stay with the Filipino mother. Well, in the US, you would typically find children having their own room at the age of 5. But here in the Philippines, you might find them on your bed until the age of 10. Because Filipino mothers are very protective, so they would keep their children close to them like how an elephant would protect its calf. You can kiss your nighttime fantasies goodbye because it's almost impossible to convince her to have her child move to the next room. The next one is that her child won't move out unless they really want to. So here's another difference that may shock foreigners out there. If you really think that you could let your stepchild fly the moment they turn 18, then that's when you just place your bowling ball to the gutter. Because you know what? That's not how it works here in the Philippines, unfortunately. As you can see, when a child reaches the legal age, they are still expected to stay with their parents still. Okay, but when do they leave? Alright, they only leave when they have got their college degree or once they are financially capable of providing for themselves. However, in some cases, mothers would actually insist that they have to stay at home, especially when there's enough room for them. Although children might actually choose to live eventually, but you could expect that they would only be a block away from you. You might often find them at home despite moving out ages ago. And it might be a shocking thing to hear, but that's just how it works in Filipino culture, guys. So, can you suck it up and stay committed for a long time? Because you know what? Choosing to be with a Filipino with children could be a challenging yet a rewarding experience.
Wow.
Because making good bonds with them would immediately make you feel warm and prove that blood is not always thicker than water. Although, some would say that this isn't always the scenario. But honestly, most of the time, they would be grateful for how you step up and openly took the role as a stepfather. However, if you happen to drift apart with a single Filipino mother and you are totally not in good terms anymore, then you could be this memories goodbye because a child will always be there and choose the Filipino mother. Another thing that you could expect is that you cannot go out with your Filipino kids alone in public, especially if you don't want to receive a lot of attention for the wrong reasons. Because here in the Philippines, guys, there are cases wherein locals could suspect you as a kidnapper. Although the number of kidnapping here in the Philippines is not alarmingly high, but there are some concerned citizens who might mistake you as one if you are not with the Filipino mother because again, they will probably think that you're a kidnapper, you know, you're a random foreigner, a stranger foreigner who's with Filipino kids. So yes, that's it for now, everybody. And again, if you are really open to experiencing any, if not all of the following situations that I just mentioned earlier, then you may be ready to commit yourself to single mothers. Okay? However, if you have your question and are still hesitant about it, then it is still best to find a single and baggage-free woman because, to be honest with you, there are still a lot of smoking hot, pretty smart, single Filipina who doesn't have children or kids or anything like that. So it's really up to you if you really want to date a Filipino single or a single mothers. Okay, but anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching my video. See you to my next video. Bye bye.